FRL GT3 Sundays live coverage brought to you every week by RSR Cooper and RSR Timmy Blunder. Timmy, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, mate. Apart from the racing gods don't seem to be my friend right at the moment. Not for the last week and a half, but otherwise all good, mate. You?
Yeah, well, they are very happy with me, apparently, in terms of the last race. But again, we won't talk about that too much, or certainly not right now. What are we going to cover tonight? Well, it's been hotting up over the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? And we've obviously got quite a bit to talk about, as usual. But one of the chaps that's been really standing out for us so far is Joseph T. Rowe, as we keep calling him, which we know is probably not correct. So Joseph is going to be our featured driver this week. So let's welcome him, shall we? Joseph, are you there?
Yep, here I am.
Hello, how are you?
Doing pretty good, gents. How are we doing this evening?
We are fabulous. We are fabulous. Now, I'm just trying to do 5 things at once here, like Timmy was doing last week. And it doesn't ever go that well, but 1 second, let me just put that in there. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Obviously, we are sat in practice, as usual. Tell us a bit about yourself. That's not an English accent, is it?
Nope, I'm from America, the good old US of A, so that's just basically where I came from. I'm glad to come join on a server that's been mostly dominated by you folks over in Europe, so just I was kind of pretty nervous when I kind of first did my first league race with this FRL group a few weeks back, and I was like, oh boy, what am I getting myself into?
So you've settled in okay then? You at your level, you reckon now?
Yeah, I've still kind of get a little bit of nervous and stuff like that going into the race and stuff like that because I haven't quite played on a racing wheel and stuff like that. I only bought my G29 earlier this year and been mostly just did a lot of self-practice and decided it's like, you know what, let's see how I do, see if I can have some fun with it at the same time.
Yeah.
And I reached out on Facebook, and one of the people on FRL suggested to come try these guys out. So
Good. I think you're probably glad you did. I think you should be. It's a good group, isn't it?
Yeah, I've actually when I did my first race, I was did a little voice chat with Gamer Dad and Fulton.
Yeah.
So Fulton's such a character, ain't he?
Yeah, it's a lot of beeps. Yes, a lot of beeps from our man Fulton here.
Yep. So yeah, they kind of helped me say it's like, you know what, just run your race, just keep your head down, keep your race, stuff like that, do the best you can, and just have fun with it. So.
Yeah. Well, we've been commenting. Is this the 4th week, Timmy?
Yeah,
I think it's the 4th week.
4th week, yeah.
And every week, you are improving every week, and that's obviously why we thought we'd have a chat with you today, because it's actually really nice to see a driver. I'm not saying you're not a good driver, but I mean you're actually watching those improvements every week, yeah. And in terms of different cars, and you obviously putting some time in, or talking to your teammates and other people in the group. It's just it's got to make you feel good that your work is paying off.
Yeah, I felt a lot confident, especially after that Monza race last weekend. Just finally get into the thick of a lot of things. The first 2 weeks, I was just kind of got isolated and stuff like that. So through most of the racing time on those first 2 weeks, and especially after having that Monza stint where I was just battling with a lot of the guys for like top 5 or top 10s and stuff like that, just constant battles to push myself to, work my racecraft and try to do some overtakes and defending and stuff like that in the cleanest way possible without being a big bargy American driving around. So
how do you feel about the Hungaroring? Is it a track that suits you? How do you feel you're going to go today?
From past experiences in different games, including this one, I really didn't like the track, but it's actually starting to grow a little bit on me as soon as you get the setup and your brake points, because there's quite a few difficult turns to just try to get your brake points. Make sure if your car is set up for the certain weird off cambers and the blind left-handers, one of chicane. So it's got a little bit of everything here in such a small track. So it definitely tries to push you a little bit. So
yeah,
definitely going to need you'll need a good qualifying, because obviously it's quite difficult to overtake around here, isn't it? There's only really one overtaking opportunity down the main straight. So.
Yeah,
it's not a very wide track, so it's definitely going to be a fun one to see how turn 1 does.
Yeah,
so
from the chat, everyone's referring to it as Bottas turn 1. So I think I'm intrigued to see what happens.
Well, might have to start calling it Bottas's turn after this year.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? But well, in practice, you're best of the rest at the moment. In practice, so you've got Keddy, Lenny, and Lock and Load, the usual suspects, top 3, and then it's you, mate.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't complain about being behind these guys and stuff like that. I've actually remember my first time doing a race against Keddy, and we were doing a one make, and as soon as we got through into a dry stint, he was just bearing down on me like 2 seconds a lap, and he got me right there at the very end on the last turn. I was like, I can't complain about it. I survived the car, so
yeah.
I know what.
I was going to say, did you just jump into the McLaren and that was your car, or did you try the cars before you decided on the McLaren? Is that your go-to car?
Yeah, I've tried different cars early on. I've tried the Audi, since that was kind of more my favorite car growing up over the last couple of years too. I was like, well, if I'm not trying quite suited with the car yet, I need to try to find me a car that gets me going. I went to the McLaren and fell in love with it, since it was just a lot more sturdy. I can get something used to help clean up a little bit of my racing abilities. So.
Good. Okay, mate. All right. Well, I think we should let you get back to practice, because we've been holding you up, I believe. And look, it's a pleasure you joining us. I think it's good. I think it'll be good for all the other chaps to hear your voice, get to know a bit more about you, so we can up those banter levels in the chat. And see what happens with that. So you might get some stick for that. You do realise, don't you?
Oh, what was that?
No, don't worry. You get back to your practice, yeah, and I'm, very, very best of luck for the race.
Yeah, all right, thank you guys.
Right, mate.
Hopefully we put on a good show for you guys tonight, and thanks for having me on. I'll
That's
talk
all
to
right.
you guys later.
That's all right. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That was good, wasn't it, Timmy?
Yeah, good to get to know other people, like you say. Have a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
Get to know something about other people they're racing against.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It is good. I think next week, what we'll do next week, because we've had James, we've had Volton, and we've had Joseph on. I think what we should start doing is maybe talking to the chaps higher up the grid next week, and start getting people's views. Now the championships might be getting a bit juicy, and start trying to get to know them a bit, and they might be able to give us some tips, which would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, yeah. That's the way it's going at the minute.
Well, thankfully we're not at this track, so we're not racing.
Yeah, this is not exactly one of my favourite tracks, I have to say. I did jump into one of the practices they were doing earlier on.
They let you in?
They did. They felt sorry for me.
Oh, there must have been extra space. Yeah.
So I passed out a couple of laps. Not on the pace, so not as a get that I drive very often.
Right.
But I don't know why, just never really got on this track.
Okay. Well, I think, obviously we've been doing our driver feature, and as you guys will know, we're also looking at doing lap guides. So, I'm going to jump on board, Timmy, with Lock and Load, who's just coming round, I've done it again, who's just coming round to start a lap. Are you able to jump on board with him? I'll go actually in the car. He's just coming around now. No, I know he won't, but it just gives everyone a perspective, and we can watch how fast he is.
Yeah, I mean, you just started the lap. I'm not going to keep up, so I'll just go through the lap.
Yeah.
Again, as I drive it, I'm sure lots of people do it a hell of a lot better than me, but there we go. So obviously, across the start-finish straight, as you come to the first corner, you're looking to be braking past the 200 board. There's like a marker on the wall between the 200 and 100. You want to be braking somewhere around that. Obviously, it's quite a long hairpin type apex, so quite a light late apex. Run down what effectively is turn 2. So in case you aren't aware, Hungaroring, one of the few circuits that doesn't have corner names, they're all numbers. So the first hairpin, turn 1. Turn 2 is the downhill flat out sweeper. Then you go under the bridge coming up to turn 3, just after the 100 board, before the curb on your right. You're looking for the braking point there. And then as you go into that corner, you don't want to keep the car too wide. You want a fairly tight line in because it's slightly off camber and it will push the car wide. So stick tight to that left-hand curb, and you want to stay to the left as you come out of turn 3, so you can get a good line through turn 4, which, if you get the correct line, should be a flat-out run through the corner. You're then heading up the hill to turns 5 and 6. So turn 5 is a little tiny right-hand kink before the left-hander of number 6, which goes over the crests. So as you approach turn 6, you're looking for a line on the floor. Effectively, that's your brake point. You sweep in, take in plenty of curb, sweep all the way to the outside, use some of the runoff if you have to, and then get back to the left-hand side as fast as possible, ready for turn 7, which is an extremely long right-hander. You have to be really patient on the throttle. Again, a slightly late apex, and run the car back out wide as you go up the hill to the chicane of turns 8 and 9. Your braking point is roughly the curb on the left-hand side before the first corner of the chicane. As you go through the chicane, there's kind of, not quite sausage curves, but very similar, that can unsettle the car on the inside of the corner, so be careful not to rattle them too much, especially in cars that are a little bit fussy, if you like. So run through that chicane. Then there's a short run to turn 10. The curb on the left-hand side, you want to make sure you take that curb. Curb will help the car pull round the corner, and try and keep it tight to the left-hand side of the circuit as you approach turn 11. You sweep through the turn 11 right-hander, again being patient on the throttle. Get across and turn early to turn 12, and keep it on the left-hand side of the track, ready to turn through the right-hander for turn 13. Again, turn in early, allow the speed to kind of scrub off the car as you approach the apex, and then want to get on the throttle as early as possible, and again using plenty of curb on the exit. You're running up then to turn 14, which is a 90-degree right-hander. You're looking for the 100 board left-hand side, or the curb on the left-hand side as kind of brake markers. Down to second gear, sweep through the right-hander, turn 14. Then you've got basically 2 hairpins left to before the end of the lap. You come up to turn 15, look for the overhead gantry, which will give you a guide to your braking. Stay tight around turn 15 hairpin. Don't put on the power too early. The car will slide away as you go up the hill towards the pit exit, and use some of that pit exit on the exit if you need to. Then run up to the last corner, which is turn 16, again an open hairpin. Kind of approach the corner, middle of the track if you like, and then turn tight into the curb and run out early, and again use all the curb on the exit, and then straight across the start finish line. And that's a lap of Hungaroring.
And isn't it amazing how quickly your mind actually works when you're driving? Because you've explained that beautifully, lovely and succinct. It was very rhythmic and flowing, and I thought it was a very, very good lap guide. I'm sure everyone else did as well. But
yeah,
Lock and Load did 2 laps. Well, no, that's what I mean. Lock and Load did 2 laps, and Letty's just done 1. In the time it's taken you to explain that, which just shows, if you're thinking about things and you're trying to explain to people, whereas when you're in the hot seat and you've got to get it done, your brain's got to fire pretty quickly. What is interesting, I know Joseph mentioned about putting on a good show. I'm just having a little watch of Letty at the moment. I know we're only in practice, but have you seen the gap between the top 3? I know yes. Keddy's busy typing away on the chat, talking about the track and how beautiful his Ferrari is, so that's why he's not out on track at the moment. But him, Letty and JR are I mean, that could be a good show.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot to choose between them again.
No.
Those three again are out there on their own, aren't they? So they're proving their quality up front there. Joseph's still sitting there 4th place, best of the rest, as you were saying earlier.
Let's have a look at him. There he is. Have you seen? But the other chaps, so 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, they're pretty tight. I mean, Chica's again. We know with practice, Chica's only sort of 3.5 tenths off Rashid, and then they're all pretty tight down to Tarek as well. So it looks like you've kind of got 3 groups in this practice session anyway, in terms of splits.
Yeah, so if you look at Joseph in 4th place, was he 1.8 seconds off, and you're all the way down to 10th before you, 2.8 seconds off, so you've got a second between those 6 guys there. The midfield is looking packed, could be some exciting racing, and people need to be patient in this circuit. As I was saying earlier on, there's not a lot of overtaking, real overtaking opportunities, unless people make mistakes and allow a gap. So yeah, it could be interesting. Tight battles in the midfield, close quarter racing.
Do you think this? Do you think this track allows for people to push for mistakes more than other tracks? Because there's a lot of sort of changes of direction and a lot of the corners that they really do. They are strung together, aren't they? They're intertwined, if you like. I know that's the same on every track, but you get my point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the combination where you can lose or make a lot of time. So after turns 8 and 9, which is the chicane up the hill, you then through the number 10, where it's a public curve, turns 10, 11, 12 and 13. They are corners where you can make and lose a lot of time because they sweep into each other. Very flowing, so they're very technical section of the circuit. You're never going to make overtaking opportunities there unless people make mistakes. But you can, because let's say you get out of line in say turn 11, and you're out of line for the rest of that section, turns 12 and 13, which are how people close you up.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, people are going to have to be really, really on their game tonight in terms of concentration levels. And we know that this group, it's a fast group, and we watch them every week. And even the midfield, we know the top 3 are normally away, but the midfield group, there's some quite aggressive drivers in there. I think at a track like this as well, people are probably going to be trying to force openings rather than, just stepping through the door.
Yeah, I think places like after turn 13, come to 14, which is the 90-degree turn before the last 2 hairpins. People are going to start showing their nose there, or you want to try and start showing your nose there. That is a half chance of an overtake if you can get a decent run through there. Like I was saying, through 11, 12 and 13, if you get the first corner right and you're out of position on the circuit, you're going to lose time through there. So people get a run on you through there. Turn 14 is a possibility. People will show their nose. Again, turn 3 is an extremely long hairpin. You might see people try and go around the outside there and cut tight turn 4, but then that will compromise their run up to turns 5 and 6. So there's opportunity for people to make mistakes, and there are places where you can kind of put people under pressure and try and get them to make mistakes in front of you. Yeah, it's all to play for. It should be an exciting race the way it's set up right at this moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome one. But on a side note, happy Halloween, everybody. If you like Halloween, great. If you don't like it, not great. But if anyone hasn't seen, I did post something on the group earlier on today. I think it's the area that Will Friedman takes most interest in working. It's just something to say happy Halloween to everyone. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it.
Actually, thinking about Halloween, that Joseph's got time to race tonight. Surely he'll be answering the door every 30 seconds. Is a really big thing in America, isn't it?
Yeah, but he lives in a cornfield, remember, so there'll be no one out there.
Oh, you think he's got a pumpkin on his scarecrow?
Do you know what? This kid turned up at my house tonight. We had millions of them turn up, which is fantastic, amazing. And it didn't annoy me at all early on. We were trying to practice for the other race. Did it to me? No. And this one lad turned up, I kid you not, he had a pumpkin on his head. Now, he couldn't have been more than 10. A real pumpkin, right? He couldn't have been more than 10, right? He had this bloody huge pumpkin, and it was so heavy. His head was, he could hardly hold his head up. Like, his shoulders were hunched, and his head was, like, towards the floor. And I was like, "You're right there, mate." And he's like, it was ridiculous. So I punched him in the pumpkin and shut the door, basically.
Okay.
I didn't really. I was nice to his kids.
Well, I don't know with you.
That depends what time of day it is, doesn't it?
Anyway, free practice is finished.
Yes.
We're about to start qualifying. Maybe we should run through standings, etc. before it all starts.
Yes. Good thinking. Okay. Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I'll do the current standings if you like.
You do the standings. Go on.
I'll do the standings.
Qualifying's just started, so you do the standings, and I'll have a look at what's going on out there.
So the current standings. Sorry, I've just had a bit of a.
Sorry, Dale's doing donuts in the pit lane.
Anyway, standings. So top of the standings, no surprise there. Lock and Loads out there with 175 points. Then you've got Lely 9 in second place with 123. Keddy on 94. Then Crazies on 76 and DJ Clark on 70 in the Mercedes. Then our man Joseph is sitting there next on 68 points. Rashid is 59. Mr. Error 58, I believe. Chica, who I think may be disappointed in his position at the minute, on 55 points. Chica's had such bad luck in the first few rounds of this championship, so I look for him to be moving up the table. Gamer Dad on 50 points, then James Williams on 45, Hutch on 40, Tarek on 37. And Tugberg, who I believe was missing from last week's race, as well as...
Yeah, he was poorly, wasn't he? Yep.
Yeah, so James Williams is obviously not in last week's race either.
Well, he was on holiday. Yeah, he was on holiday driving around Cornwall, sorry.
So Tugberg, on 31 points. Tekowski on 20 points, who... not Tekowski, sorry. Darren Mark is there on 11. Yvolton, who we were talking to last week, on 11 also. King of the Hills 9, Dal on 7, and then Marpat sitting there on 0 points at this moment in time.
He'll get some points soon. He will. So constructors wise, Run in DJC, they are currently leading on 234. Glorious Wings are in second on 181. Iron Brew Racing Team 138. Team Becco 125. Not Fast, just Interstellar are in there on 88 points. Just behind them is Berlin's Most Wanted on 83, Triple X Motorsport 75, and then we've got Gulf Clarion on 74, Audi Sport CR 61, and Twaziki Twazak Motorsport on 57 points. So it is all to play for at the moment. I'm currently watching Chica, who is going to be he's the first guy out on a hot lap. So we'll see what he can do. And then we'll start having a look at what the big boys are going to throw at the table. Because if they're doing... the track was 27, I believe, to me. Which isn't bad, is it?
Track temperature at the moment?
I believe it was 27 in practice, anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's 19 air temp and 25 track temperature at this time.
Okay.
Track conditions fast. So I'm assuming we'll maybe rubber it up and get to Opti for the race.
Yeah.
So times could improve from there. So race results from last time round. Obviously, race 1 we had Lock and Load take the win there. Keddy in second place, who, in my humble opinion, shot himself in the foot with apparently a wing set at 5 on the back of his Ferrari and was so slow in the straight line.
How could he do that at Monza? I was shocked when I read that.
Yeah, so I think that was a bad call, personally. Lely came in third, and then obviously Tekowski, who I'm pretty sure started from the back, did he not, in last place on the grid.
Yep.
And obviously Joseph in there in fifth, and Mr. Error in sixth. DJ Clark again would be probably a little bit disappointed that seventh place he had. Again, the two Mercedes guys not having the best of luck. Gamer Dad was in 8th. Crazy's the 5-time champion in 9th, and Tarek Tornado rounded out your top 10.
I don't have those things, so.
Okay, so race 2, again, lock and load came through from the back. Service as normal. DJ Clark had a much better performance in second place there. Crazy's put himself on the podium. Lely 9 was 4th. Chica, a bit better of close for him in 5th place. Game of Dad in 6th. Joseph there in 7th. Green Pies, the new guy, who's not in tonight, I don't believe, is he?
It doesn't look like it. He did really well last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in last week, came 8th. Then you had King of the Hills in the GTR 9th, and Mr. Error around in the top 10. So that was the race results from last week.
We do have some, I believe we have a couple of new drivers in this week as well, like Mike was standing in. So I think Big Time Dave is a new guy, I do believe, from what's been happening on Discord this week. I know Marek's in the group anyway, but I'm not sure if this is Marek's first or second race. Might need to be corrected on that one. But yeah, there's a couple standing in, and James Williams is back this weekend, folks. As I say, he's been on holiday. I'm sure he's very, very happy to be driving tonight after being at a 5-year-old's birthday party all afternoon. It looked like a lot of fun. I don't think so. But so Lock and Load has gone quickest so far. He's set the benchmark with a 40. Oh, okay, no, he hasn't. Keddy's just done a 43.8, which is quick.
Worth going on board with Keddy. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'm on with him now. Yep. Lock and Load's just taken that back 2 tenths as well. Okay, so a 43.5.
Wow.
There we go. The battle has started. And I'm going to mention Mr. Error because he loves his airtime. Hello, Mr. Error. Just maybe next time we do a GT4 fun race, let the guys in that said they wanted to race. Dude, thanks, because we had nothing to do then. Me, Timmy, and Hutch, nothing to do. But there you go.
We had practice with a disaster of a race. We had to play and stuff.
Yeah, that's correct. But it wasn't a disaster of a race. It was a great race.
Okay, it was a disaster of a race for me.
In fact, when
the last 2 weeks has been a disaster for me. But there we go.
But Timmy, when it's really, really wet at a track, like pissing it down at Silverstone and Thunder,
it's going to be good advice.
This is going to be great advice. And everybody watching, take note of this, please. When it's really, really wet,
it's really important, isn't it? Everybody needs to know this.
Everyone needs to know this. When it's really wet, use wet tyres. I mean, if you go into the pits and put on dry tyres, and I know you're fast and everything, but that's just bloody stupid. Anyway.
I was rather annoyed about that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it didn't save my seconds, and I went into the pits from, well, I'd already had a half a disaster on the race from, I think it was 5th, and put on dry tyres. And probably come out, spun the car, hit a curb, got a puncture, and that was the end of that, pretty much.
Yeah.
And well, it's pretty much like the race at Imola on Tuesdays as well. I had a disaster there, spun itself back up to like.
You got to 5th, didn't you?
5th, yeah, that's right, yeah. And then a really nice guy exited the pits and swerved straight in front of me.
Well, it wasn't me.
And I ended up with 4 minutes worth of repairs.
I know, but you were building.
Names.
No, good. You were building up to that.
Names, but yeah, they swerved in front of me. I had absolutely nowhere to go. Smashed in the back of 4 minutes of repair time. I was marvellous.
He wasn't very happy. So there we
go. That's race. That's like I said, the racing gods aren't happy.
No. Just to let you know,
how was your Silverstone race?
It was awesome. I qualified behind you because I was generous, and then I played the safe game, watched everyone else smash each other to pieces in the wet, and I was only half second behind them. And when they all went off the track, I just kept it tidy, pitted straight away, nice clean change, put on wet tyres again, so I thought it was important, and brought it home in 3rd. So there we go. But just to let you know, Green Pies, hello buddy, he's just put a comment on there. He only races on Sundays as a reserve stealer, that's why he's not on tonight. He does have work on Sundays, and he would have loved to have raced this week, but he's got lady duties, looking after his girlfriend. Or taking her out maybe because it's Halloween, I don't know. But hello mate, happy that you're watching.
Yeah,
donations to Steve's charity, Timmy's charity are welcome. What's it called?
What charity is that? I don't know.
Well, something about your £10. No, that was the wrong thing to say, wasn't it? From last week. Yeah, that's a whole other industry. Anyway, so Lock and Load is still sat there on a 43.5. Kelly is nearly 3/10 down. Lely is nearly 6/10 down, and then you've got your gap as you expect. So Mr. Error is best of the rest at the moment with Joseph. Gamer Dad, hello buddy, good to have you with us. Hopefully you didn't have to rush too much to get in and get on. Yeah,
I'd say Hutch, that's a good performance of around 7th by Hutch a minute.
Well, it's because when Mr. Error didn't let us into the GT4 race, me and Hutch, we had a secret chat in the comms forum, and we were discussing how to get faster, and I gave him some tips from you, so he must be using them. Yes, it is a good time from Hutch. Rashid, okay, Rashid is currently sat in 8th, Chica 9th, Crazies in 10th. I think there's, well, I don't know if Crazies likes this track or not in that Beamer, but I would expect him to be.
He did correct you the other day, didn't he? I remember him having had the conversation before where you said that he was using the Beamer all the time. He doesn't actually use the Beamer.
No, he doesn't. That's right. Yeah, but when we signed up to do this, because obviously James doesn't want to pay us, he said that we had creative license to make up pretty much whatever we wanted, as long as it wasn't defamatory about anybody. You know, because it was an error on my part. I apologise, Crazy. So, DeWill, Tarek, Big Time Dave, you know I'm gonna have to say that in a certain way during the race. Marek, BP Bolton, James is down in 16th at the moment, but I don't think he likes this track anyway. I think he's conscious he's going to take everyone out. King of the Hills and Darren and Dow haven't set a time yet, but let's have a look and see what they're up to.
Do we have what do we have as Taco Tuesdays and GT? Have we got GT4 Thursday this week?
Yes, this week. Yeah, this week. Yeah. GT4 start this week. Donny, 90-minute race at Donington. So be there, Steve. Timmy. I'm doing that thing again, folks. I'm just lying. It's a double points jobbing, so be there.
Hopefully, I'll set up my bets on the racing gods.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Mercedes that I didn't want to drive, thanks to
Well, I didn't want to drive the Mercedes either, but you said.
Why did you volunteer to drive it?
I wanted to go in the Ginny, but you said it's too like it's a bit of a girl's car, is what you said. So I picked the most masculine thing I could find.
So what's Taco Tuesdays this week?
Tacos, we're at Zolder this week.
Not really.
It's fine. It's going to be good. So Keddy has dropped that to under 2/10 now. Lily's gap's the same. Mr. Error's the same. I was going to see if we have a late push from everybody. Does Lock and Load improve that one?
Yeah, it seems to be set their time and it's improved temperature-wise. The same, track conditions the same.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's kind of found their level.
Lazy Camel's watching. Hello. Thanks for watching, Lazy Camel. Well, that's another great name as well. I don't know where people come up with these names.
Be interesting. I think that's the thing I enjoy most about speaking to the drivers before the race.
What's the most? What?
In terms of to find out about the names.
Yeah.
Joseph was quite simple. That's just his name.
Yeah, which we'd been saying wrong. Like we thought it was Joseph T. Rowe, but it wasn't.
But I think the first time I ever said it, I said Joseph Rowe.
You probably did.
Yeah. I started saying T-Rowe, and I was like,
yeah, Cooper must be right because he's got creative license. Yeah.
That's it. James said.
Yeah, James said. Blame everything on James. I think everyone's just kind of happy with their lot at the moment. surprised Keddy's not gone back out there.
Yeah, like 42 seconds to go. There's a lot of people in the pits, so
yeah.
a lot of people have decided that's as much as they're going to muster, I guess.
Maybe they've got us on FRL radio. Yeah.
How's Lely going? Go on board with Lely.
Let's have a look at Lely. Good idea.
The person that's closest. Got a second shot off.
Let's have a look.
Load, isn't he?
He's up on his own time. Anyway, he's 3/10 up on his time.
3/10. That puts him right on Keddy. So
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Second place maybe.
Nail biting.
It's not quite there. Yeah, it's dropped a little bit of time, hasn't it?
Go on, Lely, go. Yeah, he's dropped through there. He's dropped time through there. 2/10.
Yeah, lock on those lines. The pit, so that's the end of his qualifying.
I think he's safe.
Mr. Errors on it.
Ooh, okay. So we're going to get on that power early.
Yeah, Rashid's on the lap. He's only 15 thousandths of a second behind Hutch. Oh, he's just gone into the pits just as I say that.
I'm just going to stick with Keddy, just see what happens. Lely even. Yeah, no change, no change. So I think...
Yeah, Mr. Error's way down on his time, so he's certainly not going to improve this time round either.
No. There we go. Qualifying 1, folks. Complete.
Chica's still on the lap at the moment. 0.2 behind. Is he up or down on his time? Unfortunately, I can't get him to drive.
Can you not? Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay there. Yeah. We know what happens when.
So I'll stay on Chica. That's midfield, so I can let you know what's going on in the midfield. So I'll stay on board with Chica.
I keep pressing the wrong bloody button. Sorry, folks.
Or not? Yes, he does. Pops it up into 9th place. Well done.
Return to the garage. So, run through that top 10, Mr. Blunder.
So your top 10, obviously, you've got Lock and Load at the top there on a 1:43.581. Keddy following behind, 0.186 behind. Then Lely a further half a second behind Keddy. So that's your top 3. Mr. Error is in 4th place. Then Joseph Trow is 5th. Gamer Dad in 6th. Hutch with a good performance in 7th place. Rashid in 8th. Chica in the Mercedes in 9th. DeWill in 10th in the Porsche. Then you've got Tarek Tornado. Crazy's 12th. Big Time Dave in his first race on this GT3 Sundays, I believe. 13th place. Then Mariola in 14th. Evolton in 15th. James Williams in 16th, King of the Hill 17th, Darren Mark 18th, and Dal 19th. And for some reason, it's not showing who's in 20th place.
It's the Stig. The Stig's in 20th. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe isn't. All right. So we've got half an hour race, 1 mandatory stop. You don't have to fuel. You must change tyres. If anyone's new to FRL GT3 Sundays, we have 2 sprint races, short second qualifying session of 7 minutes. The top 3 from the first race shouldn't take part in qualifying because they will start from the back of the grid again, but that hasn't made any difference whatsoever so far, although it may do on this track.
It's made a little bit of a difference. We've had a few coming together. Keddy, did he not drop out the second race last time round, or certainly didn't do very well because he got involved with a lot of other things, didn't he, if I remember rightly?
Yeah. Or was that Lely?
No, Keddy was 17th in race 2.
No.
He seemed to get away with it in the first coming togethers, but I think he was collected a bit further on in the race, as it were. So yeah, so it has made some difference. But yeah, let's see if the guys who are first on the grid for the second race can make it count this weekend.
Now, do you remember last week, at the start of the second race, I made a special request from you last week, which was to give us, and it was a really stupid thing that I said, but I'll repeat it anyway because it worked. What did your most exciting? What did I say? Your most enthusiastic start phrase or some bollocks like that, right?
I haven't thought about another one since then. You know,
we'll use the same one because it had
the same one. Okay.
It had a brilliant effect. It did, didn't it? It was just carnage. So, and we're expecting Bottas T1, so it could have perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can name them, because there's a couple of corners on here that have unofficial names. So, corner 4, or turn 4, is sometimes called Mansell Corner. And I think, which is the one, the blind one up the hill I was saying earlier on?
Blind Man's Corner.
No, sorry, I think it's turn 11 is named a Lacey Corner. Named after a couple of decent moves by the guys back in the day, and we are talking back in the day, in the 90s. So there are kind of unofficial names for the corners, but yeah, one of the few tracks where they don't actually bother to name the corners.
Weren't you in your 30s in the 90s?
30 seconds.
Not quite, no. I was around in the 90s, and I remember watching F1 in the 90s, but I wasn't quite 30.
Yeah,
20
well,
seconds.
we'll have to see your birth certificate on that one. Right, so here we go then. So we're going to have a full formation lap, aren't we, from where we are? I believe so, yeah.
10 seconds.
Yes, we will have a full formation lap.
I say that every week, don't I? And it's very obvious. I don't know why I say it every week.
Yes, I don't know either. They're on the start and finish line, therefore.
Exactly. Therefore, they're going to go all the way around.
Right, off they go.
Bit of wheel spin there.
Yeah. So a bit of zigzagging, a bit of stamping on the brakes.
There we go.
Tyre pressures up. Get brake temperature in.
They're going to have a nice aerial view. A nice aerial view of all of this beautiful weaving.
Yeah, so I'm on board with Chica in 9th, so I should be able to see what's going on.
Mid-pack down, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on board with Mr. Error, so he's in 4th, so I'll catch everything that's happening in the front half. Which is great, because that means nobody misses out, hopefully.
Yeah. You know what strikes me? On
Lightning.
Where... yeah. I should be so lucky.
Which?
No, there didn't seem to be a lot of team colours.
No, there doesn't, does there?
Well,
But I'm sure there is, Hero, because you've got the 2 green Bentleys, glorious wings. I think it. Yeah. Everyone has to have the team colours because we have to submit that before we do anything. So Rashid's in the same colours as JR. Keddy ripped off our Ferrari, but he's made it yellow instead of black. It's just fair enough. And his teammate is a bit further down the field.
Tarek Tornado is in a yellow Ferrari.
Yeah, Tarek is his.
So when did that happen? Because he didn't used to drive a yellow Ferrari.
No, but I think that happened. No, he didn't used to drive a yellow Ferrari, but maybe he did drive a Ferrari and he just didn't have it in the team colours. I don't know. Who knows? So I know that the Merc boys, Chica and gee, where is DJ Clark?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. That's just exactly what's going on.
Where is he? Maybe he was the 20.
Missing in 20.
Yeah, must
maybe
be.
Maybe it's been disconnected.
Yeah, because I'm sure he had an issue with that before, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely not on the grid. Obviously, his red and white Mercedes would be standing out.
It would indeed.
But it looks like we've lost him before the start of the race, which is a shame.
It's a shame for him because he's normally got a fairly good pace, hasn't he? And it's a shame for the team. For the points. So
there we go then.
Right.
Coming round the last hairpin. Ready for the start of the race.
Hold on to your hats, people. Joseph's going to win.
Sorry. Oh yeah.
Ready? Ready, Steve? Ready to
and go. 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 There you go. 3 times.
Go.
3 times last time. That's it.
Go, everyone. Right, and down into Bottas corner comes the first 2. They're braking really hard. Sorry, I don't really talk like that, but. Oh, there we go. There we go. Someone's had a.
Is that hurt, you think, maybe into Joseph T-Row, possibly? One of the
look at that. Look at that. They are all.
And Chica, yet again, oh my word. Chica finds himself all the way down in 17th place at the first corner. This man does not have any luck.
He doesn't know.
What's going on? Oh, and Joseph, it looks like Joseph's been shunted again. He's having a disaster of a start.
Well, it's still showing him in 5th, but.
All the Porsche and Ferraris come together behind. Joseph's off again.
No way. Okay, time screen's doing its stupid thing again now, like it does at the start of every race. So just Lock and Load is still in front of Keddy. They're tight. Lely's right on his backside, and it looks like Mr. Error is right on his backside, even though the timing screen's showing us everyone's taken a turn at winning, which is really nice of it, to be fair.
I think we need to solemnly promise to everybody,
yeah,
from now on,
that you won't start the race.
Go again. Yeah, I'll never say go ever again. I promise.
You promise. We'll hold you to that. Right, so Keddy is in the draft on lock and load at the moment. We know what's going to happen there. Right, it seems to have sorted itself out. So Gamer Dad is down in 5th. Hutch is up to 6th. Just going to keep it on the top 2 as we're coming around to the end of the first lap. Lely's definitely in touch still. Mr. Eric, that's a good start from him. Paul Joseph is down in 10th. Unlucky dude. Unlucky. And Chica's down in 13th. That is a shame. So they crossed the line, finished the first lap. We've got a half a second gap down to Keddy. Lely is a further half a second away. Then we've got 3 tenths and 6 tenths. So I think those top 3, Mr. Eric is hanging on nicely there. But I would foresee those top 3 moving. Gamer Dad next. Then we've got Hutch, Crazies, and Rashid. They're all having a nice fight there. I think Rashid's going to make a move on Crazies there. He's looking at the inside, but that wouldn't have been wise, I don't think. Anything stupendous happening at your end, Timmy?
Yeah, so Marek Mariello just got the inside of Dal at turn 1, has made that stick and come through in his Mercedes. I think this is his first race, certainly a new name to me.
Yep.
So he's made a position up at the start. I think you've got Chica is very close to James Williams, and he's right next to Joseph T. Rowe, so that's probably the closest battle, and then behind them is King of the Hills, so there's 4 guys right on top of each other at the moment.
Okay.
10th, 11th, 12th and 13th.
We'll have a look at those in a second. I'm still following Rashid and Crazies here, because Rashid is 0.1 behind him, and that he's definitely going to go for a move. I think last week, I think his qualifying was a little bit out of sorts, really, because Rashid's normally pretty quick.
Yeah, so Rashid's right on Crazies at the moment, isn't he? He's 10th behind.
Yep.
Again, Hutch finds himself up in 6th place on a good showing so far.
Hutch has got a fan, actually. Someone popped on the thread earlier on. Who was it? Danny Boy said that he is Hutch's biggest fan. So, well done, Hutch. Has a fan club. It's brilliant. Is he going to get
how much membership is it?
We'll ask him after. No, he's not making that move stick. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look at the times everywhere else. So, Lock and Load's pulled a second on Keddy at the moment.
It looks like Josie's catching you, Volton. He's half a second behind him right now.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that myself. Yeah, he's going to be desperate to do well. I mean, no pressure on the guy, but you know, he's been on the show. It's on the pre-race show. I was quite surprised, you know, like that he's actually playing this game. You know, when we were talking to him before the actual live stream, you know, he's saying obviously it's very big with NASCAR and short oval circuits, and you think that's then what you're brought up on, but
yeah. So I just wanted to say. Your Volton also seems to have changed colour, so it's still in the Porsche, but it's now running a green and blue coloured Porsche. And Joseph's got a run, but it's through the S's, through the sections that I was talking about earlier, where if you get yourself out of line, it's very difficult. There's no real overtaking manoeuvre. This is kind of a half overtaking opportunity coming down here to the right-hander.
Yep.
Show the nose. Your Volton took a defensive line there.
And at the top of the screen, you've got those 3 all battling away again. I think we should maybe move on to them in a minute.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on Joseph T. Rowe and Volton, because
yeah, no, I will as well. I'm actually on board with him, so this will be good to see if he's going to make a move anyway. That's got some good traction off that line. Yeah, Volton's going to a little bit deflected on the middle of the track, so he's trying to weigh up which way he's going to go.
So Rashid just made the move up the inside of Hutch at the first corner, made it stick.
Okay.
And he's right on top of...
And Joseph's... Good, I'm going to go there now. Joseph is through. Volton ran way too deep into the first corner. And he just slipped up the inside of him. Which is good.
Yeah, Rashid's stuck in the middle of Hutch Hutch is behind Rashid.
Hutch, yeah, he is.
Crazies is in front of Rashid. Now it's updated last week. So
this is a good
less
view.
than a second between them.
Yep. I'm on board with Hutch, so it's I look going actually on board because you're watching the other two scrapping. You're seeing everybody's getting loose on the back, and everyone's jockeying for every corner. Everyone's just trying to put each other off and find some advantage on this track, which is just Hutch has got himself a little bit of over and understeer there by the look of that, and he went off, unfortunately. Unlucky Hutch. So we'll go on board with Rashid, who is up the chop of Crazies. Crazies? Who's Crazies?
That's showing his nose, as I said, but it's not really an overtaking place. If you can stay close for the last two hairpins, you turn 15 and 16.
Yeah.
And that's where his opportunity is, running up to turn 1.
Yeah. We'll stay on board.
Touch through there.
We'll stay on board. This is the closest one we've got on our folks.
It's crazy.
Get on the power.
Wide from there. She's got a good run out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough.
No, that Beamer's got some good straight line speed. Oh.
James Williams has come into the pits. Now, I can only assume that's just an early stop. But he's early into the pits. In fact, Chica and Tarek Tornado have both also been in the pits.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can understand Chica doing that because he had that incident on the first lap, so he probably wants to just get that pit stop out of the way. So yeah, James is in the pits. I've just come into the pits with him. That was fabulous.
We've got a slow going Ferrari.
Slow going Ferrari.
So I'm assuming, can't be Keddy, must be his teammate. Yeah, so it's Tarek Tornado. He's just allowed Crazies and Rashid through.
Okay, that's unfortunate. I'm just checking. Keddy is still punching alive. He's a second behind Lock and Load, and Lenny's another 3 seconds down. So it is between these two, Timmy.
Yeah. So Joseph is. Oh, it's just about to say he's gone wide there, but Joseph was closing down on Hutch. If he could clear Hutch, I get the feeling that he would be able to drive up behind Rashid and Crazies. So he made a little bit of a mistake there, so he needs to just calm down and get back in the zone.
Yep, and Mariola is literally on the bumper of Darren Mark, and Big Time Dave is catching them as well. So those three, down in 13th, 12th, 13th and 14th, are all very close. There's definitely going to be a move there. Rashid's only quarter of a second off Crazies as well, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But I just want to see if any. Oh, okay, that was
better run out of there. It's a much better run. Sorry.
Yeah, well, Marek had to brake really late then. Darren Mark.
I think Rashid's going to go for a move here.
Okay, I'm
in fact, he is. He's up the inside.
Yeah, we're on it. Is he going to outbrake him? So he's up the inside.
Yeah.
Is he going to go for a switch? He is, but he's got a good drive off there. Is he going to defend that one?
Yeah, I think as long as he keeps the line tight.
He's going to go for it. But that's probably pushed it. I was going to say,
you
know what?
Gone way wide. As I said, they're not keeping it tight. It's off camber. He's run wide.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to do that. The way that Crazies was shaping up, he was making him think, this is a great battle with these two. And Crazies, the experience, not in the Beamer, I'll add everyone, just so I don't get any letters or points of view emails or whatever from
Yeah, no hate mail, I think.
Yeah.
Did you return it? RS3 games?
Yeah. Die, midget bastard!
Right. So who else have we got? So Keddy's within a second of
he's closed.
Front there, so
yeah, he's closed a couple of times.
Marek Mariola is less than half a second behind Darren Mark, down in 12th place.
Well, this is Timmy. This is the battle I was watching before that happened with Rashid, and Marek was right on his bumper as he is now again, and then they went into the turn before the last two hairpins. Darren is through. I don't know what he did there. I don't know what Darren did there, but anyway, Darren broke really late, which caused Marek. He had to really slam the anchors on. He had to take evasive action and went left off the track, which is what gave him the gap. So he's evidently a lot quicker because he's pulling already.
Sorry, Rashid's gone wide through the last corner. He looks like he's now starting to overdrive that Bentley slightly. Maybe getting a little bit of frustration stuck behind Crazies.
Do you know what? I don't think it is frustration for Rashid. I'm going to put myself, my racing driver psyche hat on again now, and I think from understanding the lads and everyone talks during the week, and you know you get involved. I think he's putting too much pressure on himself in terms of the team performance, because JR, lock and load, he's out of there, right? And that's his teammate. You always want to beat your teammate, or you want to be close to your teammate. And I think he hasn't had the rub of the green in the last few races anyway. And so he's desperate to do well. He's desperate to show that he has good pace. And I think that's why he's overdriving the car. I think he's being too eager. I think he needs to relax a bit. Easier said than done, obviously, but...
Yeah, I think I've been writing the book on that one the last couple of weeks.
Yes, you have. And I've just been thinking, well, I'll just enjoy it, you know, Sunday drive. And it works, but...
Oh,
Rashid's gone off. Oh,
yeah,
Rashid's gone off.
I just missed that. I
missed that as well.
on board, I saw it. I'm not sure what happened there. Again, whether he was just overdriving or whether they've had a bit of coming together, but he's dropped way back now.
So I'm just trying to see who's actually in front of him there, because that's a yellow
Tornado, a lap down.
Right,
in the
okay.
pits, hasn't he? So
yeah.
As well.
Yeah, you're right.
But he's two laps down at least.
And you're right.
Damage.
Look at Hutch. He's absolutely reading him in at the moment. Is he going to pit? Who's going to pit? Yeah, Rashid's coming to pit.
Maybe
okay,
he's
so
damaged his car on that off. So
yeah, possibly. And this is Hutch's chance now to get on it and try and make sure he can keep ahead in the pit stops. Keddy's pulled it down by another tenth. So it's 3/4 of a second. Do you think he's really going for it? Do you think they're both going for it? Do you think they're pacing themselves? I mean, it's a fairly short sprint race, isn't it? So
yeah, well, I'm not saying anything because that's obviously last week I was talking about, or maybe lock and load should work with Keddy in the front, but in about 5 seconds that went out the window, didn't it?
yeah.
But maybe Keddy is sitting there thinking, I'm going to look after my tyres, going to have to look after my car, and isn't pushing. Maybe he's quite happy sitting there, I guess. We'll see, but from what I've seen so far, lock and load seems to save something in the tank for the second half of the race. So we'll see if that's the case again this week.
Well noted.
I think the only close battle we've got right at this moment in time is Mariola on King of the Hills. Is about a second half behind. Mind you, King of the Hills is in the pits.
Yeah.
So that's that battle out of the way.
There are no close battles at the moment.
Yeah, it's gone. It's just basically all spread out, hasn't it? So
Keddy
sitting in second place is actually the battle.
Right. So on that note, then, we'll be got 16 minutes. I'm going to go and get a beer, and read a paper, and I'll be back in 15 minutes, and they'll all be bunched up again. No, I'm not really. But, yeah, you know. What is J.A. Williams doing? Oh, he's pitted though, isn't he? That's fine. He's way down at the back.
Yeah, so you've got big time Dave and Dowett in the pits right at this moment in time.
6 tenths. Kelly might be trying to push him down before the pits. He's right on him, mate. He's right on him.
Yeah, so the top 10, none of them have pitted as yet. So everybody from 11th down have all completed their pit stop. So who is going to be the first of our leaders to blink? Right, so Hutch has now gone into the pits from 7th place, I believe.
Yep. He has indeed. I'm not going to take my eyes off this battle because it is the closest one. It is the top 2. Don't worry, guys. Everybody will get some airtime. We always try and do that. But there's 6 tenths between these two. Are they going to jump in the pits at the same time? Or are they going to split strats and do the opposite of each other? I think they'll follow each other in, to be honest. Because as we know, the undercut is generally pretty strong on this game. As you rightly told me.
Sorry, Darren Mark is now also in the pits. He's dropped into the pits as well.
So Chica's right on big time Dave. He's 2.5 tenths behind him. Let's see if he can get a move. He's got to try and start making his way through the field.
Yeah.
Keddy's in the pits. Keddy's in the pits, and JR stayed out. So Keddy thinks that there's obviously a bit of traffic in front of JR, and he thinks that might potentially help him. That's what I think he's doing.
Yeah, might be a wise decision.
Yeah,
depends
let's
where
see.
He comes out on the track. You've got so King of the Hills looked like he was getting close to Joseph there, but just dropped back into through the last couple of corners. I'm not sure if Joseph had come past him earlier out the pits, but
And if Keddy was hoping that there was traffic going to hold up JR, that didn't happen because obviously he passed him easily into turn 1, so there was absolutely no hold up. In fact, he probably got a slight advantage with a bit of a tow.
So both Lely and Gamer Dad are now also in the pits, and Crazies as well. So quite a few of our top 10 have now been pitted. So you've basically got Lock and Load out in front. Mr. Error, Yvolton and Marek Mariello are the only people that will not have pitted before the end of this lap.
Yeah. Yvolton likes to run long, doesn't he? I've noticed that. He generally runs long pretty much in every race we've commentated on so far.
So Marek Mariello is now also in the pits, so only the 3 guys now have not pitted.
Right, Keddy's out the pits. So what we'll do is, if JR jumps in this lap, which I expect he will, I'll go on board with Keddy, and then we'll see how close they are when they come out.
Yeah. So the question is, how long are the guys still out going to stay out?
Yeah. That is the question. To pit or not to pit? And he is pitting. Here we go. JR Lock and Load, everybody has jumped into the pits. This is going to be important. Now, where is Keddy? Let's see, has he got any issues with traffic? No, he has got a totally clear track. So, how quick did he get those tyres up to temp? How brave is he being on this lap? And Lock and Load is now just waiting for his boys. Well, he's just getting in there. He's just stopping now. So he's having his tyres done. Mr. Error and Yvolton. Mr. Error's coming to the pits as well. So Yvolton will take over as the leader of the race. Beep, 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 beep to you. And he'll be very happy about that. So, Keddy's coming down to the last sector now. Lock and Load is still sat there. I've got to build this up, folks. This is like amazing cinematography. Right, Keddy's coming around. He's going to be coming around the last one. Lock and Load still hasn't moved. Keddy's coming around the last corner now. And Lock and Load is on the move. He's coming down. Oh my word, this is going to be close. And you can see the shot. Here he comes down the back, down the pit straight. Lock and Load's getting up to speed now. They are going to be. Then, oh my word. They're not going to be together. And they are, again, probably a tenth more than when they went in the pits. So, Keddy's got a chance. He's going to have warmer tyres. Look, Lock and Load's, you know, he's not daft, is he? He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, just so you know, the closest battle in the field at this moment in time is Big Time Dave in 16th behind Darren Mark. There's less than a second between them. That's the closest battle on the track at this moment in time.
I will look at that in a moment because Keddy is very close. Keddy's like 3-4 tenths now. Timing screen says 5, but I know that's lying because I can judge that distance better than my eyes. And he's on him. He's got.
How long does it take Lock and Load to get his tyres up to pressure?
Yeah. Well, Keddy could take advantage into those hairpins if he can push him now, so he's working harder. He might scrub his tyres a little bit. He's on him. This is going to be interesting, and Keddy knows this is his chance because if he doesn't get him, these two don't make mistakes, do they really? Apart from now, they'll probably both crash, but
seldom.
Yeah, so he's gone defensive there, middle of the track. Keddy's trying to go wide to cut back. Lock and Load's gone narrow, so he can sit in the middle of the track. Okay, he's blocking off that. This is. What would you be doing now, Timmy? Where would you go? Would you dummy him? Would you go late into this first corner? Would you smash him off the track?
I prefer a leg tape into that last corner anyway, but the problem, like I say, the problem through that section there is no. If you're the guy in front, you know there's no real opportunity. As long as you keep your lines well, keep it tight, you know, there isn't anywhere past those last couple of corners. You just got to concentrate on getting a good drive out the last corner. In fact, you know, if you're really cheeky, you could think about parking it, and you control when the throttle goes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do, if I'm honest with you. They're giving it everything now, these two. This is good, guys. This is good stuff. 3 tenths in it.
This is all about who's going to blink and who's going to make the mistake, if either.
Yeah. Yvolton's jumped into the pit, so he had what, a 1.5 to 2 lap race lead, so you can have that on there. Laps led. Well done, mate. Mr. Error and Lenny are still just keeping consistent there in 3rd and 4th. And Gamer Dad's having a good run at the moment, isn't he? He's up in, well, net 5th. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I know they're at the back, but just to mention again, big time Dave. Oh, and he's just made the move into the second but last hairpin. It was a bit of a dive, but they haven't come together. Hasn't made it stick though, because Darren Mark has got the inside line into the last corner.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the little touch there. I'm watching it, and here we go. Drag race, go, get the toe. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left.
This, I think.
Yeah, unless he does a dive bomb, which you wouldn't want to see really.
Darren Mark's gone defensive there.
Boom, boom. Mariola is only 2 tenths off King of the Hills as well.
Yeah,
so
I'd just like to mention, sorry, Tarek Tornado is closing them down as well. Tarek Tornado's down in 17th place, but still fighting. He's now within 2.5 seconds of the guys we've just been watching, Big Time Dave and Darren Mark.
Good work. And Rashid is back on the case. He is right up behind James Williams, but he has just dipped a wheel on the green stuff, so that won't help his cause. So we've now got 4 actually very interesting battles going on, which we'll try and keep you all abreast of.
Yeah, Marek Mariola's half a second or so behind King of the Hills at the moment as well.
Yeah.
And
then
Tarek Tornado's cut that gap in half, sorry. He's now 1.2 seconds behind from 2.5. Yep. So he should have these two anytime soon, I would imagine.
Yeah, and Keddy is 6 tenths behind Lock Alone. So I'm going to have a look, keep an eye on Tarek. Let's see what he can do with that. And I'm just going to keep my eye, because Chica was right on the back of Marek Mariola as well. So we'll check that one out in a second. But Tarek's still pushing hard. Is he going to make a move there? I doubt it. No, he isn't. That was obvious that was going to happen.
Well, to be fair, I think that was a good move. He'd got the inside line, he'd made the apex. I think that... who was it?
Big Time Dave. I think Big Time Dave...
He needs more space there, I think.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
Oh, Rashid's got to drive through.
And I think that is for track limits, yeah, because I just literally jumped on board to see what was going on with him, James Williams, and he was off the track.
He's having a torrid time, that guy, isn't he? Torrid time. Right, Marek is just under 2 tenths behind King of the Hills, and then Chica's only 2 tenths behind them, so these three are also banged together, which is great to see. All of them.
Joseph is half a second behind your Volton, and if I'm not mistaken, they've been pretty much following nose to tail for most of this race.
They are.
Just goes to show how difficult it is to overtake at the Hungaroring.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Oh, they're all so close there. Tarek is now 2 tenths off Big Time Dave. No, he's got Big Time Dave. So Tarek's made the move. Now Tarek can get on and chase Darren Mark down.
Joseph's up the inside of I forget who it was now. Yvolton, wasn't it? Yeah. So he's made the move.
Oh, Yvolton! Oh, that's aggressive. That's aggressive. Come on, Joseph. You could have carried on turning there, mate. That was yours.
Yeah. Together there, don't you?
Yeah.
Discretion is the better part of valor. Is that like saying? What's the saying?
The saying is, it's my line. Get off. That's the saying.
That's effectively what Yvolton was saying there.
Yeah.
Joseph needs to try and stretch the lead, make sure that there's no issues under braking.
Yeah, he needs to stay cool now. Stay cool. Yvolton's going to be gunning for him.
Chica's... No, Rashid's now got a stop go. So where he had a drive through, that's been...
I bet it's been speeding in the pit lane then, maybe.
Let's see. He is in the pit lane. He is in the pit lane, so maybe so. He's going to come out of the pits and then maybe have to.
No. I think he's parked it, mate, because he came down to the end of the straight and he'd already got the stop go 30, and he's just ported into the pits. So I think that's him out. You can't port into the pits to do your stop go, can you? You have to drive round. So it looks, unfortunately, like Rashid has packed that one in, which again is a shame. I just think it shows in his psyche where he's at the moment. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself, which I don't think he should. He's got good pace, and things obviously like he's not getting the rub of the green, which is unfortunate. But but now he's going to sit that one out. So
yeah, just to update, obviously you've got the top 3 away.
Keddy's 4 tenths off him. Keddy's making a move actually.
So you've got Lely 9, who's sitting there in the 3rd position. Gamer Dad up there in 4th, Crazy's in 5th, and Mr. Error in 6th. So those 3 going really well. Hutch finds himself still up in 7th.
I was going to say, run. Timmy, I'm just watching Keddy and Lock and Load, yeah, and they were just coming up to Tariq in front of Lock and Load, and I was thinking, I know what's happening here. Yeah, Tariq's slowing him up to give Keddy, a chance to close up on Lock and Load, but Tariq absolutely dived out the way of both of them, which was really good. Yeah, no, it's really good to see. 3 tenths between those two, 3 minutes left. Do I come away from that, or do I stay there for now? Big time Dave's under half a second.
I'd stay there. I'll keep an
There's a move. There's a move going to happen in a minute. They're coming into that last one, and they're almost nose to tail again. See, the thing is, when you've got 2 drivers, that have got good even pace, and they don't make many mistakes, kind of like me and you. Well, I mean, if there's no one watching and we're not really driving, it must be very difficult to find the pass, because obviously each driver will have parts of the track that they are better on and slightly weaker on, and it doesn't have to be a lot. And he's trying to make a move around the outside, Keddy. He's going to get Lock and Load, held his line nicely there.
But it's not just the driver either, is it? It's the cars, different cars,
exactly, of course.
The circuit, etc.
And that's what I mean. So it must be very. Again, that's a great thing about the GT3s with the BOP. Everything, everything isn't equal, but it's as equal as it can be to make a fight of that close for that long.
Yeah, just like to say, Mr. Error in 6th place seems to be closing down on Crazies within a second. So it's now as close a battle as Keddy is, because Keddy's dropped a little tiny bit back from Lock and Load.
Yeah. Yeah, let's have a little watch of Crazies and Mr. Error. See if anything develops between them. So then you've got Hutch, who's worked his way back up to 7th. That's good work. Williams, you've got to say, it's a great drive from Williams, because he started down in 16th, I believe, 15th or 16th, and he's up in 8th. So that's been a good drive from him so far. Joseph, unfortunately, is down in 9th, so I'm not sure he'll be totally happy with that.
It's like Mr. Error and Keddy have a competition about who can get closest to the guy in front, because they're both 6 tenths of a second behind the guy in front.
Okay,
right
on the
now.
final lap now. Give it all you can.
Darren Mark is 2 tenths off Big Time Dave, so I don't know if Darren's had a problem there. So Tariq, I thought Tariq would pull away from those guys pretty easily, but he hasn't. Got Big Time Dave and Dell.
Are you on the last?
We're on the last lap. We're on the last lap. Yeah.
Are you on board with Lock and Load, are you?
I shall in a moment. Just have a quick scan down. Nothing else is massively close, so let's go.
Mr. Error and Crazies is the only other one which I'm keeping an eye on right now. They're just coming into the last turn 15, I think it is, and 16. Sorry, it's the last turn. Yeah, that BMW with Crazy seems to have really good traction. Again, the Bentley's showing its kind of Achilles heel out of the slower corners. The only real overtaking zone you've got, and the traction isn't that great. So how's
status quo?
Load?
Yeah, it's all good. Like, it was a bit wide there, but the gap's pretty much it's 0.4. So Keddy's making a real last push as we come into the final sector. So it's down. It's 3 tenths. Down to 3 tenths now. I think Lock and Load is just he cut that corner a bit there. That's not going to help him get out of there. Keddy's gone wide into that hairpin, hoping to do that cutback again. He looks like he does have a good cutback. Lock and Load just needs to roll that in, get on the gas nice and early, squeeze. Keddy's got a good run, but JR Lock and Load across the line, everybody, and it's first place for JR Lock and Load. Keddy in second. Well done. Keddy obviously smashes it into the wall. That's how everyone celebrates with losing safety points. Anyway,
it looks like Crazies has done enough to keep error behind him for the rest of this lap.
Lely brings up
clean.
the rear of the podium, and that's your top three. As usual, folks, these three always deliver. And we've got Gamer Dad, who's coming round to get 4th place. That is an excellent run from him. That is an excellent run from him to get 4th place. Crazies, looks like he's just going to pip Mr. Error to 5th. Yeah, done enough there. So 5th and 6th respectively for those two.
Just so you know, Joseph's right on the tail of Mr. Williams coming up into the last.
Yes, he is.
Turn 15 into 16 again. I don't think there's enough there.
He had a little twitch coming out there, didn't he?
He runs so short to the line out of the last corner. Even if you get a great run, you're never going to get past the time for the line.
Yeah. Good finish by Hutch. Hutch finished in 7th, so he battled back quite well because he dropped a few places. I think Mr. Williams, that's a good drive, Steve-O. Whoever Steve-O is, that was the guy who just called in on the chat. One day we'll reveal that. Joseph
I think
Knight.
everybody's figured out that my name's not actually Tim right now.
Are they? Is it not?
Well, you call me something else that many times. So
I know. I know. Sorry, Adam. Right, so,
no problem, Jeff.
Thank you very much. I am the Jeff Stelling of GT3 commentary. Aren't I, really? Amazing. Chica, 11th. Marek Mariola, 12th. King of the Hills, 13th. Big Time Dave, 14th. Darren Monk, 15th. Tarek got himself up to 16th. Dow, 17th. Rashid finished 18th. Well, didn't finish. And DeWill, 16 laps down. No pit stop. I think there may have been a disconnect there. Because that's not like him. He would definitely finish the race. And there we go, race 1. What do you think about that, Timmy, Steve, Adam?
I think there was lots of action in that race, but not a massive amount of overtaking. But then, as you would expect at Hungaroring, it is a short track. It's very tight and twisty, quite narrow through the midfield. There's only really one line through turns 10, 11, 12, 13. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. This could be. We say this every week, but this could be the circuit that tests the guys who finished 1, 2, and 3 in terms of coming through the field. But in order for that to happen, everybody has to be clean through the first few corners.
And as we have seen, indeed, I totally agree with you. And as we have seen, interestingly, in the last few races, when we get to race 2. I don't want to, sound like a parrot every week, because, you talk about the same sort of thing when you're watching it happen, but the guys at the front, they get so excited because the top, JR, Keddy and Lely aren't there. They get so excited all the time that they start having these crazy battles like their life depends on it, whereas if they probably all didn't do that and just drove, I'm not saying drive slower, but maybe a bit nicer. A little bit more kind, don't kill the car so much, they'd probably make it more difficult for those three because they'll be moving on rather than squabbling for the whole race. So I think that's what plays into the top three's hands.
Is the fact that the midfield is so tight, the times are so close together. You've got 10 people behind them that are a second or so together, within the same sort of lap times. That there's inevitably squabbling and chasing and a bit of, door rubbing and what have you. So that kind of plays into their hands.
So who are the protagonists in this one then? So Gamer Dad, he obviously showed he had pace on that last one and was probably clean. That's why he moved up. Hutch has got to fancy himself for a little bit, but Joseph, he's got to be fancying himself in the second race. Because he was fourth in practice. He qualified quite well. They seemed to have good pace. So I think he might be putting a bit more on himself for this one, which is. But then I say Hutch had a good race, didn't he? As well.
Yeah, Hutch had a good showing. I think if I recall, it's probably his best showing since we've been commentating.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a good run from him. Like you say, Joseph would fancy his chances. Gamer Dad, Crazies. You know, there's quite a few guys. And Mr. Error had a great race there. Really,
he did. Yeah, he did.
It's so
open,
close to that
isn't it?
midfield.
Yep.
You know, the guys that qualified 4th, 5th, and 6th in the last race could end up 11th, 12th, and 13th in this. It was that close. If they don't quite produce the same laps as last time, and other people picking up a couple of tenths, they could find themselves, 6, 7, 8 places further down the grid. Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see indeed. So we're going to have some fast times starting to come through. Hutch has just had an issue. He's just had a crash, or he had a tag with somebody else. I didn't quite see that. There was definitely an issue there. Right, Chica, has he got himself? Where's Chica? There he is. Let's wait for these times to start coming in. Right, who've we got out on at the moment?
I'm not sure who's on a fast lap at this moment in time. Who's on fire? Anybody or nobody yet?
No, I don't know.
The next person over the line's Rashid. Is he on a flyer or is it his out lap?
Yeah.
It was fast lap, so 1:45.5. It says he's second. So somebody else already posted a time.
Well, mine hasn't even put a time up there. No, Mr. Error's put a time up. Aha. So that's the other thing you have to say. Take Lely out of the equation. His teammate, Mr. Error, has always got a good pace. He should be up there. Take JR out of the equation. Then you've got Rashid. But then we're looking, Gamer Dad and Joseph have just put in some good times as well, second and third.
I was going to say Joseph's time was a bit disappointed, I think, with that. This is what I was saying about, it's so tight in the midfield, you have a bad lap and you could find yourself way down the grid.
Especially with such a short qualifying window in the second one.
So Chica's about to come across the line and puts himself third, 0.8 of a second off Error's pole time, or provisional pole time, should I say.
Yep. See, that's why I chose the Merc for GT4s, because it's so nice, but you're not allowed to take the GT3 one in there, which is a shame, isn't it?
Bolton coming across the line is like start a flyer in his new livery. Oh no, that was a flyer. Okay, time's taking a while to update. So he's 1.7 seconds off the pace in 6th place.
Right, King of the Hills is next over, I think.
King of the Hills,
Let's have a look at him. What's he going to do?
No time posted yet. So maybe a start of a flyer.
Or maybe maybe an invalidated lap,
Possibly, yeah. Big Time Dave's just put a time in, 2.9 seconds off the pace, 7th place. Number 16 is Rashid. Now this should be a flyer, and this has been validated. And it is, he's gone second. 3 thousandths off the lead.
Wow.
That's so close, what a good lap. Right, so Mr. Error's just gone across the line and posted a better time in previous time of 1:44.919, so increases the gap to Rashid to over half a second.
Well,
Joseph T. Rowe, sorry, he's gone second, 0.44 off the pace.
Well done.
Lap times are coming in thick and fast now.
They are, yeah. There's only a minute and 10 left, so everyone's going to get those lap times over. Now, JR, Lock Alone's just sent me a message, which is very nice of him. This could be interesting. He's saying that there's... Actually, should I say that or not? Because, Keddy and everyone might listen and try... Anyway, he sent me a message, which I think is going to be interesting for the second race. There's going to be something slightly different about his car. It is going to be the same car. He's not going to change it, obviously. But we might have, something slightly different going on there, which he's very sure will help him. And he is saying, "Come on, Rashid." He's supporting his buddy. Of course he is.
Yeah, Rashid's just gone off. Unfortunately, on this lap, just gone off the track, so they've been validated. In fact, he's pulled off the circuit now.
And that's
the
that.
Next person across the line
is
King of the Hills. Didn't set a time last time round, so has he kept it clean, a valid lap? Let's have a look. He comes across the line.
He does.
Post a time, but puts him last of the people that have set times, so not a good run. Mr. Error's coming around again.
You've got to think everyone else has got to be trying to set a time now.
So turn 16, Mr. Error's coming round, accelerates out of the corner to the start-finish line. Does he improve his time? No, he does not. Joseph's next one over the line. Can
I'm
he
looking at him. I'm looking at
pinch
him.
that pole?
Yeah, can he go for it? Come on, dude. See what he can do. Nope.
No, it
doesn't
hasn't improved
improve.
his time either.
Wow. So
Then
Game of
Dad's next one.
Nope.
No,
oh, pole for Mr. Error. Unless someone else pulls a
crazy
one out of the bag. He hasn't. No, he hasn't improved either. Chica's the only one that could have pace.
The next person coming through turn 16 now.
Let's see. I think he'll move up a little bit, but he's gone to 5th. Wow. Okay.
There is time there. 1:44.9. That's a good time as well.
Yeah.
Should be happy with that time.
I think he will. I'm sure everybody in the garage at Glorious Wings will be in raptures over that time. And Joseph, front row of the grid. Well done, mate. That's indeed, impressive. Yeah. Again, it's another step forward, isn't it? You know. Keddy, JR and Lely, they better watch out because, you know, our American chaps is coming for you.
Well, I think he's just starting to learn how to go around corners, so once he's figured that out, he should be up there.
Yeah, well, the left and the right corners there must be really difficult for him, I think.
Do they do reverse ovals?
I'm not sure what... No, I don't know what they do over there. They just go around, don't they? I mean, Dow had the right idea. I think he was trying to show us in the start of the first qualifying session what a typical NASCAR-type race looks like by doing donuts in the pit lane. And he did really well. He won that race, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
So, shall we run through this?
Yeah, let's run through.
So, your pole sitter is Mr. Error with a 1:44.9. Joseph T. Rowe, Gamer Dad, Rashid, Chica, Crazies, Hutch, Yavolton, James Williams, and Marek Mariello in your top 10. Tarek Tornado just outside in 11th. Big Time Dave 12th. Then King of the Hills, Dal, Lely 9, obviously not set a time due to his podium finishing.
Well done. Lely 9 not set a time, that's great.
Yeah, good rhyme.
It was. Sorry, I put you off there. No?
You did, yeah. Well, the other 3 guys haven't set a time, have they? So that's
how lazy? And why would they not set a time? I mean, they're just saving their tyres.
Because they don't need to.
I know, I'm just joking. Okay.
Well, does everybody know? What if we've had a late joiner? Maybe you should explain that.
Well, we do have 6 watching, which is 6 more than normal. So I am over the moon with that. That's why I'm trying not.
Explain it or not?
Yeah, the 3 at the back are lazy, and they couldn't. No, so the top 3 from the first race don't have to take part in qualifying for the second race because they start at the back to create, you know, a little more.
It's like a mini reverse.
Yeah, a very mini one. Mini one. Yeah, I think this is going to be the race where it makes a difference. And I want to see the other drivers. And this is now nothing against JR, Keddy, and Lely, because you guys have got that pace and you're awesome. But I want to see the other guys now, without touching, but being a bit more robust with their defence. Because you could feel that everyone's
who was JR Lockenlode's teammate last week? I don't mean his actual teammate. I mean the one that's driving for him next year.
What, the one in the Merc, wasn't it? It was. He's not racing today. What's his name? DJ Clark. It was DJ Clark, wasn't it? DJ Clark was just like, "Oh, after you, sir," just let him through, and then was right on his arse for the rest of the race. He had pace, didn't he? But he just jumped out of the way. So, guys, if you're listening on Team Radio, defend harder. But fair, obviously, but harder. Make them work a bit harder, because they're not even breaking a sweat, are they? Yeah. I'm sure they are, but you know, you can't have those 3 drivers doing the same thing week in, week out, and them not being challenged more, is all I'm saying. So don't jump out the way. Don't feel you're going to get in the way of the championship. If it's position, that's your position.
Grab hold of it.
Yeah. Stephen. Okay, guys. Big reveal of the week. Timmy's name isn't Timmy, it's Stephen. That's why I keep calling him Steve, Stephen, Steve-O, Steve, Sturt, and S. Okay?
Yeah, Timmy doesn't
Timmy.
appear in my name at all.
The reason why he's called Timmy Blunder, yeah, it's alluded to if you watch some of his driving on his YouTube channel, is because Timmy makes mistakes. Timmy Blunder.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Steve, though, Timmy?
Yeah, it wasn't really to do with my driving originally. That
No,
was
it's your
the name
work.
I've had for about 20-something years.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But there we go. Anyway, here we go. Round the go for the warm-up lap at Hungaroring, race 2 of round 4. Let's see who can pick up some valuable points.
We've really messed up that huge reveal there. You know, I was going to build it up for the whole season. You know, kind of like pull a balaclava off your head at the end of it. But I couldn't keep your name correct, could I? Sorry.
No, you don't want to do things like that at the end, mate. You just scare them.
Yeah. Fuck off! I mean, beep beep. You're welcome. Right. Race 2, Sunday evening, Halloween. Is it going to be scary? Who's going to have a treat?
Yeah, I'll put the Halloween masks on to not scare people.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they do them that big.
I've got a big head, not a big face. Exercise face masks.
You go into the shop and you go straight over to the Elephant Man section.
Oh,
Right.
So, Mr. Error is leading us round. Mr. Joseph Tro, who is on the front row of the grid with him.
Yep.
Round they go. Halfway round the lap. Going through turn 11 and 12.
This is it. This is going to be banging. Just for the team championship, Mr. Error knows he can pick up some points here. Rashid knows he can pick up some good points here, which is going to help with the other guys battling at the back.
Like you said, Rashid up the front here at the sharp end, as it were, needs to just stay calm, don't put too much pressure on himself, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
He can bring home valuable points.
I am going to make a prediction, as I like to do in race 2 of every week, yeah, and our friend Rashid and his equally as unlucky friend Chica are right next to each other. And, well, not right, but, you know, there's a place between them.
Behind each other on the grid.
I believe they may give each other a love tap in their desire to get those positions of points.
Well, I'm going on board with you Volton in 8th.
Gamer Dad's flashing away, he's not happy about something. Oh, he's flashing at us. Yeah. Go on. Okay.
So I'm looking at the back midfield of the grid.
Right, and here we go. Off the, you said go again. Oh dear. Right, I'm watching.
I suddenly swore not to do that.
I'm watching Chica, and I'm watching. So Rashid, that's clean. Rashid's getting in. Chica's fine. No, Rashid's been tagged. Who's tagged him?
Yeah, it's crazy, is it? Oh, yeah. It's been T-boned by one of the McLarens.
Oh my god. Okay.
Fingers crossed it wasn't
Joseph T-Row is leading. Joseph is leading. He's done a move on Mr. Error, and Gamer Dad is all over his chuff now. Chica's still on track. Well done, buddy. 3 corners in, he hasn't been smashed off yet. He's going to make a move on Gamer Dad. Someone's just spun off. I think that's Hutch.
No, James. James Williams, I think.
Wow.
He's the man with the Union flag on his Audi.
Right, Mr. Error, Gamer Dad, Chica. Tarek Tornado's up into 6th. Hutch is in 7th.
Yeah, Lely's
Hutch is going for a move. He got it. Sorry, go on.
Lely tagged the back of Volton. Luckily, they're both still on circuit and in original position.
Okay. Joseph is being cool and calculated. He's pulled a second almost on Mr. Error. Gamer Dad's trying to apply some pressure there. And Chica is, wow, him and Tarek are nose to tail. That is a good battle starting to form there.
Sorry, Lely's under attack by Lock and Load, defended hard, took the tight line. Keddy's trying to go around the outside. Lock and Load's got the inside after takes the grass.
They've touched Keddy.
All 3 of them together, 3 championship leaders are all nose to tail.
Wow.
Lenny somehow has managed to keep in front of Keddy and Lock and Load. Lock and Load's lost the place to Keddy.
Yeah, and Keddy's doing that. Keddy and Lock and Load.
They've both gone in the pits.
Yeah, they followed each other in. So it was really interesting that Lock and Load he started that whole thing off there because he came in too tight onto that corner and went over the grass a little bit, which obviously Lely thought, oh shit, he might come across and hit me, so he went left a little bit. Yeah,
Gamer Dad's just come together with Mr. Error at turn 1.
Ooh.
He went up the inside, not sure. I didn't see the start of it, so I'm not sure if it was a clear move, but ran deep and ran into the side of Mr. Error.
Yeah, and Tarek's all over the back of Chica as well, and then Hutch is just sitting there waiting. And King of the Hills is having a great race as well, up in 7th. Well done. Followed by your Volton, and then Lely. Well, Lely's got I don't know if he's missed the trick here again because Lock and Load and Kelly did this last week. They pitted straight away, let everyone else get ahead. They could come out and clear air, use their pace advantage whilst everyone's fighting, and end up through the field. That's exactly what they did last week.
Joseph T. Rowe is
2.4 seconds.
Yeah, it's clear. Can he put the time in? This is the problem. This is one of the problems where the guys who dropped to the back of the grid are basically they're helped out by the fact that the guys at the front cannot pit. They do not have that option because if they do, they'll be right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And it will be absolute carnage, and they won't be able to put lap times in. So the guys at the front are constricted or restricted to having to do laps before they can pit to get clear track.
Yeah. And Mr. Error's right on the back of Gamer Dad at the moment. Lely is in 8th. Volta, I think he's being held up by King of the... Is he being held up? No, he's catching King of the Hills, isn't he? So he is making his way through. Kelly's out the pits. Lock and Load's out the pits. And Crazies and Williams have also pitted as well. So we'll see what comes of that. Rashid's down in 12th. It's just nowhere, is it? I know he got into some issues. I would have gone straight in the pits.
So Lely's just gone through
King of the Hills. King of the Hills, yep. Right, Mr. Error. I think Gamer Dad is too preoccupied with Mr. Error at the moment because he's half a second behind him, and that's allowing Joseph just to slowly eke away. Yep. Lenny's.
Yeah, Lenny's.
That hasn't changed. Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's got it all sideways. Oh, he managed to hold on to that. Well done.
Well, Hutch went wide there as well, so that would have lost him sometimes. So maybe he was a bit distracted by seeing that happen, or got a bit excited.
Yeah, so Hutch is up in 6th place at this moment in time, going well again.
Yeah.
Right up behind Tarek Tornado, who was obviously having a much improved race at this moment in time.
Yeah, and Mr. Error is now
5th.
3 tenths behind Gamer Dad. This is... I do actually really like these second races. It mixes things up nicely. 3.5 seconds, Joseph, is the gap to second place. That's good work. Keep doing that. Mr. Error...
now being held up, sorry.
Is he? Mr. Error's going to make a move on Gamer Dad here. He's setting him up. He's gone wide to cut back. We're going to go into the last hairpin. Still 2.5 tenths between them, so pretty safe at the moment. Yeah, Lenny's on the back of Hutch now. He's going to make a move now. Nope. He'll definitely make a move into turn 1 now.
He's losing time here. Hand over fist to Keddy and Lock and Load.
Here comes the move.
Lenny seems to make this mistake every race.
And what about staying out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. And the thing is, I think Lock and Load would have stayed out if Keddy had stayed out, because he looked like he was taking that line, and then Keddy jumped straight in and he cut back across to go in, that's the smart thing to do. He's copying the guy. As I say, you're going to come out and clear air. And how much time is Lenny losing now? I know he's sick, but he can't be doing the same lap times as the other guys.
Yeah, I think it's definitely losing time.
This is a brilliant battle here, Steve. Steve, fuck it. Yeah, Timmy. Jesus, Timmy. I know, mate. Cheek out, Tarek. Oh, Lenny, Hutch has thrown it off. Unlucky, mate.
Oh, that's such a shame. He was having a great race.
He's still in this. He's kept in the position, but he's obviously dropped off the back of Lenny. So It's now Chica, Tarek and Lely are fighting for 4th.
It looked like he tried to show his nose into turn 14 and nearly outbroke himself into the back of Gamer Dad, but just about missed him. They're coming through turn 15 and into the last hairpin for 16.
Yep.
Same position as they were. Looks like Chica's holding up Tarek Tornado and Lely at the moment. They both look like they've got extra pace.
Yeah.
Again, that Mercedes is so quick in a straight line, just able to pull away in the straight. Lely's looking at the inside, gone for last of the late breakers. Oh, inside both of them. Oh, this touched Chica and he's spun it. They've both spun in unison.
Chica again. Oh boy. See, Lely knows he's losing time. He knows he needs to make those places up, and you know it's forcing his hand into how he wants to drive, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know.
I think that was a bit. For me, I was a little bit optimistic by Lely to try and take both of them in the braking zone.
Yeah, I missed it, to be honest.
When he got there, though, Chica should have left a bit more space. Yeah. But yeah, that was a bit of an ambitious move by Lely for me.
Now, I don't know if Joseph has made a little mistake. He's 3.6 ahead of Gamer Dad. He was 3.9. Gamer Dad's found a bit of pace, breathing space, because he's pulled probably 3/10 on Mr. Error. Although he's pulling right back at me now. Very much so.
Yeah, so Hutch has found himself back in front of Lely due to the coming together at turn 1. Hutch has run a bit wide out there, yeah. But it's a left-hander. These are the sweeping bends I was talking about. If you're out of position, you're losing time through those corners, so that's enabled Hutch to keep position.
Yeah, let's tighten that. Mr. Error's making a move. Mr. Error's tried to make a move on Gamer Dad then. I think he's going to hope he goes wide there so he can scoot it up the inside. And that GTR is going to have punch down the straight. Well, I can't see Mr. Error having enough to get past him on the straight. He might do something wonderful on the brakes though. Let's find out. Into turn 1.
It's too far back from there. That would be a bit of a dive. That would be a bit much.
Saying that. Yeah. And Lely is going to go up the inside of Hutch. Ooh. Hutch defect 1. Hutch, you got push. He's got the inside line. Yeah.
We've not really been talking about the championship leaders, but Keddy's got a 4.6 second lead after the pits on lock and load.
That could be significant when it all shakes out.
In fact, it's now gone up to 5.3. So whether lock and load's got issues.
Well, lock and load alluded in some messages to me that he was doing something different with his setup, and that he had no grip whatsoever in the first race, even though he won it. So maybe those changes.
Maybe the changes made it worse.
Yeah. We'll see. Right, Mr. So Lely's. Oh, Hutch has gone wide again. Lely's definitely going to go up the side there. Hutch is going to take the inside line though. That's it. That's a good move, Hutch. Now Hutch has gone defensive.
This is more like what we were talking about, wasn't it? Don't let the leaders just come by.
That's right.
The line.
That's too wide.
Deep though. It's gone deep, yeah. And Lely's gone through, so Hutch has made the mistake.
Yeah.
But he kept him behind him for a couple of laps.
He had a battle. Well, Chica's just come piling in at the back. He didn't hit him. He was like on King of the Hills there in terms of that breaking zone. That was major. Chica wants that place back. He's not. He's getting it. Touch. Oh. Yeah. Keep it clean, boys. Keep it clean. Oh, go on. You don't need to turn in that much, Chica. He's right next to you. Alright, I'm definitely going to stay on these two into turn 1.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So the Merc had the better run, but the GTR looks like it's held the line, but... He's firm on the brakes, just need to hold the apex.
Which he has.
Which he does.
Good driving, boys. Yeah. Has he left that gap? He's left that door open.
Yes, left it open. He should have straight across.
Massively, yeah.
He's now on the outside of the track, which rolls away from him. It's off canvas here. Never going to be able to hold it round there.
Chica gets the move done.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, well done, Chica. Unlucky King of the Hills. That was a good move. So Lely is 7/10 off Tarek now.
Yeah,
and Joseph has pulled over 4 seconds now on Gamer Dad. over 4 seconds. When do they pit? When do they pit?
What's the window?
That's right.
Maybe 60 seconds?
Yeah, so it's 30 to 35 seconds at a standstill, isn't it? Depending on what you're doing, fuel tyres, or if there's a tiny, if they want to do a tiny little fix. And the other thing is that you need to take into account as Letty goes round the outside. Yeah, that was a move. Oh, you can't don't turn alone.
Looked like he wanted to try and cut that line off, but didn't quite. Yeah,
but Tarek then went deep to frantically defend his line, and that put him out of sync for the next one, as you were saying earlier on. So Letty moves up to 5th. I still think that even though he's up to 5th, he's just been losing so much time. Lock and Load and Kelly are just running in clear air.
Yeah, Lock and Load's now 7.2 seconds
behind.
Kelly.
Yeah.
And we're approaching halfway mark as Mr. Error goes into the pits. I was going to say, we're approaching halfway mark, and there's still more than half the field that have not pitted yet.
But we also said this last week, didn't we? Like, everybody that is in that top half, they don't want to pit. They want to try and go as long as they can because they know the top 3 will be coming through somewhere. King of the Hills has jumped in, but again, that probably isn't the best thing to do. So Joseph's lost a few tenths. He's never been in this position before. What's he going to do? What's he thinking now? Is he thinking, right, let's just keep out, let's just see as long... I'm probably not going to win this race because the other guys have come through. Let's keep out as long as I can. It's really...
But you said this was a circuit to keep them behind.
Well, I think it is. But it's still a difficult choice to make, isn't it?
Yeah, so Mr. Error's out of the pits now. Darren Mark's in the pits. King of the Hills in the pits. Go top 8 yet to pit.
Look and Load's 8 seconds down now.
Lely finds himself in 3rd.
What's going on with his car? Or is Lock and Load? I'm just wondering why he's 8 seconds off.
Maybe he's had damage, or like I say, his change he made has gone the wrong way.
Yeah, it looks like that. Right, Chica's 6th. Chica's coming into the pits, it looks like. And what's Rashid going to do? Rashid's going to stay out then, so he's going to look to try and make some time up on the next lap. Hutch is coming to the pits as well. Tarek stayed out, he's gone long. Kelly is still out, but he's now got back markers in front of him.
Yeah, Lely's trying to make his way through. Is that who you're talking about with back markers?
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Well, they got out of his way anyway, which is good. Yeah, I think it is Crazies and maybe Darren Mark.
Yes. Oh no, it could be. Oh no, it's not.
No.
Union flag. So
yep.
It could be Darren Mark, like you say.
So we've got 7 that haven't pitted so far.
We are at the halfway mark.
Halfway.
Chica's in. Chica's in.
9. Look and Load's 9 seconds behind Kelly now. Well, barring anything disastrous going wrong, Kelly should finish ahead of him in this race, wherever that is.
Yeah, well, he needs to find a way to finish in front because he was going a little bit adrift in the championship points race.
Yeah. So everyone's pretty spaced out again now.
So what he really needs is somebody to split him and Lock and Load. There's 10 seconds between them. Has anybody got pace to split Keddy and Lock and Load? That's the question.
Joseph's coming into the pits. He's got a 4.5 second lead on GamerDad. He's pulled the plug. Right then.
First one of the leaders to blink.
So the thing I was going to say to you, when it's done well there, on the GamerDad's coming. GamerDad's coming, so Lely's going to be, and Lely's coming as well. Okay, and Tarek's coming as well. So they're all coming in, all copying each other. So Rashid stayed out. So he's thought, sod it, I'm staying out.
Yeah, Evolton's also out there still.
Yeah.
Last 2 people to pit. Crazies is right behind Chica, by the way. He's only half a second behind.
Yeah, so Crazy. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Not sure if that's where they were.
Who's off out the pits already? No, he's just coming in. Right, Joseph is still there. He hasn't moved yet.
So your Volton's in the pits, by the way.
Okay.
Rashid is now the only man on the circuit not to have pitted.
Keddy's coming around the last corner, and Joseph is still sat there. I don't know what's going on there. And Keddy's coming around to take the lead. As always, and now Joseph is starting to move, but he's already lost the lead because Keddy's just gone past on the screen.
Where is Lock and Load?
And Lock and Load is coming down the pit straight now. So Joseph and Gamerdad are both coming out together.
So Joseph will be in front, Gamerdad will not. Joseph should get there ahead of him.
If he does not break himself. That's it. Right, so Joseph has come out in second. So there's someone who split them, as you were saying earlier on. So
yeah, that's exactly what Keddy needed right now.
Yeah.
Can he stay there though?
Yeah.
Has he got the pace to match Lock and Load, who appears to be, well, driving with a car that's not exactly as he wants it?
Yeah. So Rashid is currently leading the race. Obviously he needs to pit, so he won't be leading the race. So Keddy, Joseph, Gamerdad. So that hasn't updated that. It's saying Lock and Load is an 8, but he's not, is he? No. He is net third, currently 4.
Yep.
This is a test for Joseph now. He is between the two big boys. It's a good test for him. Mr. Error is currently in 7th, right behind his teammate Lely. So those two are line astern, which could be a good points finish for them.
Yeah, so will they squabble though? Is
Well,
this
you would hope
teammate
not.
battle beat your teammate?
Yeah. Well, if we were in this position with 11 minutes to go,
we'd be smashing each other up, probably.
yeah, we definitely would. Yeah. Right, Tarek is 3/10 off Hutch. Those two are always together having a good battle every race as well. So this
They do, yeah.
they're right on each other now.
They're the midfield entertainers.
They are, yeah. Yeah, that's a we'll call them that from now on. I like that.
Yeah. Maybe they should be in the same team. Make it a great team battle.
Yeah. Maybe the guys at FRL will let me and you pick the teams for next season, seeing as we study them every week. We know them inside out. We should be able to pick the team. I think that's what we need to do. So if you're listening, admin and FRL guys.
Tarek's made the move, by the way. He's out of the last corner, but it just seemed to run it a little bit deeper, and Tarek managed to get the inside line and made it stick.
Joseph is holding his own. He's got 1.5 seconds to Lock and Load, and that is bigger than the gap was after the pits.
Rashid has come out the pits in front of them both.
How has he done that?
I have no idea.
I don't think he's actually pitted. I think he's drove through the pits.
No,
How's he done that?
Wow.
That's impossible. No, it's not. It's going down the timing screen.
Oh, okay, right.
I was going to say, there's no way he did that. I mean,
like
unless he had a quick fit through there.
Right, I was going to say that's 7th place. My error.
Right, our midfield entertainers are obviously swapped around as you mentioned last lap, but it's still Hutch doesn't want to let that one go. He's
half a second.
Yeah, he's trying to get that one back.
No, just Mariello again. We've mentioned him quite a few times. He's right up with crazy. He's less than a second behind.
Yeah, he is.
Driving some nice lines at the minute. I think he's going to be putting pressure on Crazy. So
I agree, but I think looking at whatever he's done, he doesn't like it. The car doesn't like it because Joseph now has 2 seconds on him.
So Joseph's actually pulling away.
He is, yeah.
You've got Gamerdad's only 1.8 seconds behind.
I know.
Load. Can he?
Yeah.
Can he also do the business?
Yeah. Let's keep an eye on that time.
I mean, you've got 50 points, is it, in the championship at the moment? Something like that. Let me just double check.
Yes, check your notes.
52 points. And obviously, he'd have gained more out of that last race as well. Would be another 4 points ahead, something like that.
Yeah.
So, Keddy could really do with Gamerdad doing him a favour right now.
Yeah, he could. Well, Lely and Mr. Error, their team battle isn't going to materialise. I think someone's been on the phone to them, so there's nearly 3 seconds between them. Or they had a little door knocking or something like that, but there is a big gap between them now, so nothing happening there. Mariello is probably the closest batter we've got on there at the moment, and Joseph's called another half a second on Lock and Load, and that's dropped Gamerdad from 1.8 to 1.5. So something is maybe put wet tyres on, like you put dry ones on. I don't know, but something isn't right with his car there, which he's going to be kicking himself unless he's just having an easy one.
those sorts of errors.
Probably not. No, that's like having a team called Red Scorpion Racing and then we have a blue car. I mean,
Well, whose idea was that?
why wanted it to be blue?
So
Blue racing is what I wanted.
Scorpion Racing?
Yeah,
Must have quite the same ring.
No, it doesn't.
So
Yeah,
just dropped back a little bit from Tarek Tornado, 1.5 seconds off. Rashid, who you'd like to think is making a bit of a recovery, has just gone wide again, mate. Just seems to be overdriving the car all the time. He needs to just calm down, but he's closing Hutch down fairly quickly. He's got it down to 1.1 seconds.
I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. So, Keddy's out there. I'm just having a quick look at him. He's gone. So, that's that done. Joseph is now 3 seconds ahead of Lock and Load. What a bloody performance so far from this dude.
Gamer Dad can't seem to close that gap, and he is back to 1.8 seconds, and
Yeah,
Lely is 1.8
Lely's
seconds
catching
behind
him.
again. So, yeah, can Lely take advantage here? There's 7
Well,
minutes left.
yeah.
We're talking, what, how
Yeah.
long? We're talking
What,
5
so
laps to go,
1:40?
maybe?
Yeah,
something like that.
if Lely clears Gamer Dad, do you think, given Lock and Load's pace issue at the moment, do you think he's going to be able to catch and have a crack at him? That's the big story, isn't it, I suppose?
I think if Lely could clear Gamer Dad quickly, then yes, but I doubt very much whether he will be able to clear him quickly, because we say it's not that easy to overtake, and there isn't a massive discrepancy in speed, or not so much that it would make it easy to breeze past.
That's right. Well, Hutch is breezing past. Rashid is trying to breeze past Hutch at the moment, and he's all sideways, massively sideways out of that corner there. I thought he was going to bin it again. Oh no! Everyone's going crazy on the server. All the cars are. Oh god! No, now they're back. Okay. No, there's some lag issues going on at the moment.
Mine wasn't doing that. Maybe your internet's about to fail.
Well, my Tinterweb says it's fine at the moment. So
Who's
18.
that off the circuit? That's Rashid again?
Yeah.
Nelly finds himself within a second of Gamer Dad. Gamer Dad's down to 1.4 from Lock and Load, so Lely might halt his progress towards Lock and Load.
It was Rashid's 2 tenths off Hutch. He's definitely going to make a move in the next 3 corners. He's definitely going to make a move, and that's allowing Tarek to skip ahead, get some breathing space. And Chica.
Right, they're both right on Lock and Load now. 1.2 seconds for Gamer Dad, 0.3 of a second
yeah.
Lely.
I've just jumped on board with that one. 0.3, 4.6 seconds from Joseph to Lock and Load. Yeah, maybe it is. Who knows, guys?
Yes, mine doesn't seem to be doing that jumping.
Like yours is obviously better than mine, isn't it? I'm sorry, I can only afford dial-up. Yeah, mine's going.
Problem is for Gamer Dad, which way does he look?
Yeah, that's very true.
Again, Lely's having a look at the
Same
inside.
spot. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it.
Oh
Oh, no.
Oh! Ran deep. Gamer Dad's gone back up the inside. The old switcheroo.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to clean a lot of them out then.
Lely's
Oh,
getting a
come on,
little bit
Gamer Dad.
desperate
Come on,
there.
Gamer Dad. Come on, Gamer Dad. Come on, hold that line. Push, dude. Have a baby. Push it out.
Okay.
Come on, tight. No, go on. Go on, now. No, he's lost the
I think,
position.
right, Lely's made this. GTR, is he going to have the legs in the slipstream?
No,
I
he's
don't
done.
think he's got a very good exit yet.
Right, so, can he catch Lock and Load? Joseph is 7 seconds. Keep that together, buddy. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, so Gamer Dad needs to try and keep up with Lely and try and follow him through if he can.
Yeah. Wow.
So just to let you know, Marek Mariola is right up behind Crazies at the moment again.
And
11th.
Rashid's going to make a. Well, I thought he was going to make a dive on Hutch down into turn 1. Those two have been together.
Yeah, the tail.
Where's Tarek gone down to 14? Did he get into a crash? Because Tarek was ahead of those
He had a
two.
drive-through, remember?
Oh yes, he did indeed. I wasn't concentrating on that because I was too busy trying to get my dial-up working.
Sorry, Lely's
Point
got
8.
himself within a second, yeah.
And there's traffic in front of them.
Yes, indeed, there is. Who is that traffic?
It's fantastic.
Is it Crazies or is it Dow?
Well, it's gone out the way.
Dow, it's just pulled out the way.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, but I mean, there's pulling out the way, and then there's pulling out the way, isn't there?
At some point, Lely is going to send this.
Yes, no doubt about it. There's 1 minute left. They're going to get one more lap in. We know he likes to move down here. Look a load wisely.
Defensive, yeah.
Wisely goes defensive there. Lely's also very good coming out of the last turn. He likes to go wide there, doesn't he? And get a wide exit. Here we go. He's set himself up for it. Don't go anywhere, folks. This
Grandstand finish, as they say.
Yeah, this is important for the championship as well.
Lely's cut back. He's got a decent run out there, like you say.
Yeah.
Lock and load, I'm assuming, will go defensive. He's got a good run. Which side is he going to go? And he's forced to the outside.
Yeah, that was a full toe. That was. Is he gonna? He's gonna modulate those brakes.
Lock and load's gone deep. Switch through by Lely. He's got a good run, but he's on the wrong side.
Game of Dad's thinking, come on, boys.
It's off camber into this corner. He's got to try and keep it tight. He gets run wide.
Yeah, did they touch? Right, we have to stay with this, guys.
Lely's
there we
they've
go.
come together. Lely didn't quite keep it on, and JR Lock and Nose managed to keep hold of it. Game of Dad is through over Lely.
Wow. What do we think about that one?
He got the run, but he threw it to the inside there, but then he couldn't get his car stopped.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go to the leaders.
Moves,
he has. Right, I'm going to go to Keddy, watch Keddy finish. Just going to keep my eye on the times. Tarek's right on James's backside. Not literally, but figuratively.
Leaders.
Yeah.
Rashid is still right up behind Hutch, 0.2 of a second.
And Keddy's coming around the last corner.
Somewhere.
Well done, Keddy. A good victory there. Keeps things interesting in the championship. Well done, buddy. And let's go to the guy who I'm going to give my driver of the day vote to. Our featured driver, Joseph. Coming home in second place. Great drive, under pressure, in the sandwich of the big boys. But he held it. Well done. Yeah, you wiggle that car and smash it off. Well done, mate. And Low comes across the line for third. Gamer Dad just behind in fourth. And Lely is. You've got to think Lely is going to be pissed. But he made the aggressive move. He put himself in a position that was a do or die move, wasn't it?
So Rashid just looks like he's let Chica through, or made a mistake and then decided to let him through.
And Hutch has gone through as well. So Hutch likes number 7. He touches normally around 7. Chica 8th, Rashid 9th. Crazy's, well, they haven't come across the line yet, have they? Crazy's looks like he's going to come through to complete the top 10. Then we've got Marek, King of the Hills, Tarek, James, Big Time Dave, Yavolton. Oh, Yavolton's currently having a fight with...
No, they're finished.
No, they're finished. They've
been lapped, so yeah. Darren, Mark and Dal. Yeah.
And Dal. Wow, blimey. That, I'm going to look forward to seeing what the standings are going to look like after these two races, because that victory for Keddy, with Lock and Load not managing to pick up second place, you know, it's not going to be a massive amount of points, but it could be a turn, you know, in their little war.
Yeah, that was a couple of great entertaining races.
Yeah, I think they're getting better, aren't they? Actually, I mean, not that they were bad in the first place, but now that you've got all the championship stuff playing out and people improving, and people maybe using different tactics during the races and defending a bit stronger against the big boys, it's spicing up a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I do indeed. It's making the rest of this championship look very entertaining indeed.
And it's great for us because when we win this championship next year, you know, we'll know what everyone's doing. Right, okay, on that note, I think we best say goodnight. So congratulations to Keddy, Joseph, Lock and Load for the top 3, unlucky Gamer Dad and Lely just outside that. Great races tonight. And where are we going next week? Let's just have a check just so we can think about what issues they might have next week. It would help if I had that information in front of me, really, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming, don't worry. Right, next week we are at Donington Park. That's gonna be epic.
Talking about tracks that are not easy to overtake on.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's good. And then Alton Park. This is just gonna get. This is gonna get feisty. Okay, guys. Listen. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Anybody that does want to listen to me and Timmy / Steve, you can catch us every Sunday. Steve will be broadcasting next week as Timmy. Leave a like, subscribe, say hi, enjoy.
Yeah. Good night, all.
Good night. Thanks for watching. Bye.